So a few days ago I was reviewing some of my old videos, the ones where I actually had my voice instead of a AI Michael. One of the videos that really stuck out to me was my video about Enlisted historical accuracy. In said video I was talking about how Enlisted wasn't historically accurate, but that was alright, since the players were still having fun. However, a few days ago I found something that could possibly essentially turn Enlisted into a better version of Hell Let Loose. That said, this video has been possible through the friends at Discord, meaning that if you haven't liked, subscribed or joined the Discord, I highly suggest that you do. That said, let's get started with the video. Before we go into the crazy subject of Enlisted competing with Hell Let Loose, we have to tackle about what Hell Let Loose and Enlisted bring to the table. For one, some of the advantages that Hell Let Loose gives is realism. Everything feels real. For example, every weapon that the Soliders get is either historically accurate or attempts to be as historically accurate as possible. Another thing that always gets me is the attention to detail, or should I say attention to realism. Enlisted, on the other hand, is very different. For one, more attention is paid to different weapons and tanks, which in my opinion is great. And as of right now, Enlisted is focusing on paratroopers, unique squads, and even some highly experimental weapons. Obviously, if one has played Enlisted, you would not call it historically accurate. Hence, how on earth is Enlisted going to compete with Hell Let Loose? Well, this actually had to do with an Enlisted community group that changed my perception of Enlisted. This group is called the Enlisted Melsom community. For those who don't remember, when mods first came out, I suggested full-blown campaign maps, or maps where you simulate an entire WW2 campaign. For example, a massive map encompassing a portion or a full map of the entire North African campaign. Of course, this isn't really possible, since I doubt Enlisted maps will be that massive. However, one of the things that I really wanted with Enlisted mods was to make the game as real as possible, or to simulate battles that Enlisted didn't give us. This is actually something that the Enlisted Melsom community actually gives us. For those who don't know, the Enlisted Melsom community is a military simulation for Enlisted. How this is made possible is that there are no squads, with lone fighters only. Meaning you play as yourself and not as your squad. However, every one of those players has worked together in a squad to achieve their goals. With all members required to join a voice chat, and even their specific servers. As of right now, we have servers for the United States Army, Germany, the Soviet Union, Ireland, and the United Kingdom. We even have the Federation of the Allied Nations and United Axis Command. That said, there is also a limit of what type of weapons you can bring for historical accuracy. For example, the Italians and Germans in Stalingrad only have a few weapons, such as the MP40, the MG34, and various other historically accurate weapons. In my view, this increases the historically accurate and the strategy, because people only have a set amount of weapons and they mostly have to rely on tactics to win. However, the best thing that this group does is the map itself. Not only did they edit most of the map to make it better, they made new ones. For example, they made the maps of France in 1940 and Voronezh in 1942. Overall, if there is one thing that you can take away from this group, is the map itself. Some of these maps are more balanced than the Enlisted maps themselves. Overall, the Enlisted Melsom community has really gotten my hopes up for the future of Enlisted mods and their potential. What better is that it is my belief that Enlisted can fully compete with Hell Let Loose. Not only because they have the resources, but because they have everything that Hell Let Loose has, but even more. Of course, Enlisted itself isn't a military simulation or realistic game like Hell Let Loose, nor will it ever be. However, Enlisted with the correct mods, it can easily rival Hell Let Loose and in my eyes surpass it. That said, that is all it for the video. What do you think of Enlisted and Hell Let Loose? Which one do you think is better? And do you think Enlisted can ever beat Hell Let Loose at its own game? Comment in the comments section down below, and I'll see you in the next one.